Hey guys, I'm Chou-Tac from the designsketchbook.com, and today we are going to see how to draw sections with sphere and ellipsoids. So I really invite you to take some notes because this is what is going to really help you to memorize things long term, and I'm even tempted to say in a lifetime duration. So what is a sphere? Basically at the origin in 2 dimensions, this is all starting from a circle. And from the ellipsoid at the origin in 2 dimensions, it's all start from an ellipse. So first of all, I invite you to practice your basic movement of sketching. So you can see some further tutorials on the blog, and for the perfect circle and how to draw ellipses, I will give you some tips and tricks like the symmetry axis or the ghost drawing and so on. And if you want to see further, to learn further as a basic sketching techniques, I invite you to download the Designer Starter Kit, where you will also do your first steps in perspective. Okay? So it's really important to master the basics because you are going to grow a lot faster from there. So how is a circle going to 3D and to become a sphere? Just draw these 2 ellipses right here. So we try to draw it super fast in product design sketching. And as you can see, I just added a horizontal ellipse right here. And you can see more tutorial on the blog about how to draw a sphere. So I added also a vertical ellipse as well to complete this sphere in just a few seconds. So if I want to create that section, I just add hatching here for the horizontal ellipse. It's like the horizontal surface if you had cut this sphere into. Just imagine like Fruit Ninja, like this watermelon is cut into. Okay, so when you draw in product design, we really love to start with basic forms such as spheres, such as cubes, such as ellipsoid also as well, and then we cut it. It's like sculpting somehow. Okay, don't just start trying to draw that half sphere from the beginning. Do a full sphere that cut into, and you get with half watermelon, and it will allow you to draw it from any angle as well. Now we want to draw the cut like in a vertical way, and you just add the hatching on this vertical ellipse. Simple, right? So imagine it if you have it like in the front view. This is cut in half. Add a little detail for the watermelon textures and colors. And what if you only have 1/4? Can you guess it? And that's it. We just complete the hatching of these 2 little surfaces. And then you got 1/4 of your sphere that has been cut from it. So maybe you just wanted to have just 1/4 watermelon, right? So front view, how does it look like? It's like a Pac-Man shape somehow. 1/4 cut and 3/4 watermelon. So it's all about simple geometry. That's why actually product design sketching somehow is not that difficult. It's just a sequence of series of simple techniques, one after another. Let's do the same thing for the ellipsoid. All started with the ellipse, so you have a watermelon but more into that elliptical shape, and it's exactly the same techniques. Horizontal ellipse and a vertical ellipse, only the size of them change. Oblique hatching. So we love to do hatching in the oblique way because it's more like, I would say, in the abstract direction that is not really commonly used. If you use horizontal or vertical, that could be mistaken with textures, for example. Okay, so now you got practice for both, and let's carry on with even more practice to experiment different angle and different sizes of cut. So you draw multiple sphere, a multiple circle, and cut it with the ellipses directly. Here's a common mistake is when you try to cut it, is we see in red, it merges with the edge of the sphere. Just cut it through. See in the green light, that is what is actually empty. Here is like I cut very low and below there's a small piece of the watermelon. Let's carry on. And what if there's 2 cuts? Let's raise the challenge. can see at the bottom, we don't even see the surface because it's hidden below. That's what you want to do in design sketching, is to practice seeing things in transparency. So now we add some more contour lines. You have also some further tutorial on the blog that cover this topic that helps you to better visualize the volumes. As you can see here, like you can see the plane of this cut for this ellipse is actually within a square in perspective. So draw as many as you want to practice. It's quite a fun and relaxing somehow. Ground shadow to add more volume feeling. What if you cut a coconut in two? That would look like this. Add a bit of hatching for the color contrast. A coconut. So you can imagine coconut, orange, bowling ball, apple, anything that you may want to cut. All the fruits that you can find in Fruit Ninja, for example. And here, as you can see, I divide from the 2D face to the perspective square the different elements of the orange. It's all about simple geometry once again. Okay, let's carry on about how to draw ellipsoid. So I'm going to put the speed of this video to speed 1, and I invite you to draw with me. So it's time to chill and to have some good focus time. So we saw with the sphere how to proceed. Let's continue to carry on with the ellipsoids. So feel free to try to cut the volume with different angles. So experiment is all about trial and errors, and you will realize that it's actually simpler than it seems. You visualize the side view, the front view in 2 dimensions, and then after you export it to the 3D volume with just adding that ellipse. Here we go. So feel free to press pause whenever you need and carry on. So here is 2 cuts. So I just choose a lo-fi music to chill and have good focus. Hope you like it. Let me know if it's kind of music and mood that you like. I personally like to draw with lo-fi music because it's kind of an infinite mood that you can feel it into the bubbles of drawing, that nothing can disrupt you. So take your time. As you can see, when I draw the ellipses, I really take my time, not going super fast. I just look for momentum when I draw. It's like I apply the ghost drawing, I simulate the elliptic movement before drawing it. Up, hatching. Here we go, some extra contour lines. So the software I use here is Sketchbook Pro. I invite you to try whether on iPad, Mac or Windows. It's my favorite software for product design sketching since years, for its simplicity, its lightweight, and especially the quality of this line, of this tool. See, I got this ellipse. I add this cut to make it an ellipsoid that is cut in half, and I'm going to draw extra cut to get it two pieces. Imagine like you have maybe a piece of bread and you cut it. Here we go. So we have these small dashes to show the emptiness. What if I want to add some extra distant shadow? You have the piece A, you have the piece B. So let's carry on here. I add some hatching for the volume as well. So when you add the hatching, it actually helps to avoid being misled by some construction line that you created before. See, I go through over the ellipses that are supposed to be hidden. Here we go. I like to refine after that. Here and there. This little refinement create more like a product mood by itself. Let's carry on doing some more. Oh, here we go. Now I want it to cut like in two, one in the horizontal and one in the vertical way. So the possibilities are basically infinite. So that's what is really cool in product design sketching. When you learn the techniques, it's super simple, and then you can apply as you wish. Here we go. I continue here. Or if I cut these two pieces right here, make it a bit more advanced. Then I bold what I want to keep. And hatching. So here is the front and the back. A slice is a missing part in the middle, in between. Pretty fun, right? So it's all about learning the right process, and it's freedom for your creativity after that. Here's the importance of line weight. Some more dark, some more light lines. Alright, time for a recap. So how to draw sections on sphere and ellipsoid. So we draw simple circles on ellipsoid, ellipses, and then we draw the ellipse inside, horizontal and vertical, to create the volume. So we want to draw super fast. It avoids to try to draw with a lot of shading and so on. And remember, when you draw this basic movement of circle and ellipses, move your whole arm. So your whole arm here is actually moving. It's not just doing like this. Okay? So you want to cut and see in transparency. So this is like you have a superpower and your eyes can see in 3 dimensions and see true objects. It's all about simple geometry. Okay? So we apply some rules of perspective if you want to dig further. So remember that this ellipse is actually a circle from top view to go from 2D to 3 dimension. So we can try also some multi-cut also. Can draw an ellipsoid base as well as a sphere. The same rule applies. Try with different angles. Okay, so this is how you can draw as many as you can just by learning in the right techniques. I invite you to practice for 30 minutes. All right, see you.